Hey viewers, well, I'm finally doing a video review of M. Night Shyamalan's failure adaptation to Avatar: The Last Airbender. The Last Airbender. Deserve that. Oh, where do I even begin? Let's start with the acting. The acting, strange. They did not show emotion. Aang was just like, I need to go home, so forth. Oh no. I was like, just stop. Just stop. And Katara, I just didn't like her as Katara, and maybe Jackson Rathbone was decent, along with Dev Patel and the dude for Ero, as they call him. Again, name pronunciations. It's Aang, not Ong. Iro, not Ero. No. And Sokka, not Soka. When I heard Soka, I was just like, oh my god. And, well, I didn't mind, like, Avatar as much. Like, I would have liked Avatar, but Avatar, it didn't bother me as much as the names, because the names are, like, the most important. And, like, the dialogue, I just didn't feel like, I don't know, it felt like empty. It wasn't, like, in the series, it wasn't humorous. Sokka was not humorous. There was nothing humorous about this film, unless you were laughing at how bad it was. It was negatives. I have a long list of negatives, like one thing and a positive, like maybe 2, 3, if that much. Well, let's just say, like, it was only an hour and like 43 minutes, I think. They could have added more stuff that the fans were expecting and wanting to see live actionally, whatever, you know what I mean, and made it a 2.5, 2 hours, 15 minutes at least. That's how many other movies are, like Twilight or something. They're like over 2 hours. Why couldn't you do that? Because you knew people were going to see it. Who cares how much you have to spend on it to make it? If it's, you know it's going to be a big hit because of the huge fan base that it had. Just make it a good movie, and they didn't. They left out the Kyoshi warriors. They left out Roku, and he was probably like one of the more important people, because he's the one that tells Aang, Ong, as they call him, what he has to do. He has to master the 4 elements before the comet comes. And the comet was only mentioned at the end, and it said 3 years away. And the distance didn't, like, how long it was before, it wasn't a big deal, but they could have had Avatar Roku say it. I don't think he even heard about the comet, or even knew about it, what he had to do in the movie. I don't know, but they didn't say it. Instead it was like this, instead it was like this dragon spirit. When I thought, like, when he went into the spirit, I was like, hey, this could be where Avatar Roku would pop up or something. Like, hello, Aang, and it'd be kind of a cool moment, but it was just a stupid dragon. Like, I have seen the vision of moon turn red and all that crap. And there were elements of the show that just were left out. And one of my biggest complaints, the bending. Like, sure, one of the positives, the special effects looked pretty decent. Like the look of it, not like the bending itself, like the motions and the movement of the bending and the elements, but like the way it looked. I do have to say, one positive. The water looked pretty kick butt. But like in the final battle, that's it, like the ice and everything. But like in the fire, sure, it looked cool. In the earth, what little bit he saw, it was kind of maybe decent. And the air, well, you can't do much with air, but still, it looked decent. But the motions, the firebenders, like in the prison, with where it was, I guess it was Haru, but he looked like a girl, and like I was like, why is Toph in here? I mean, seriously. And they were the firebenders were like, they were like doing this for like 5 seconds, and then a fireball just like went this slowly, maybe a little faster, if that, at the dude who bent, I guess it was a dude who bent tiny stones, and they said it hurt. And they were like, oh no, I'm gonna kick your butt with my fire. And then they were just like, wah, 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 for like 10 seconds. Then it was like, it was like, he could have totally dodged that and said he just stood there like a, yeah. And then like his dad was just like, sure, that earth looked pretty decent because he was just like, and it came up. But like, still, the speed of the fire, anyone could have dodged that. And when they're doing all of that, someone could have already killed him. And yeah, and the earth, like, sure, there was this one time when it was actually pretty awesome, when this dude, the only part that actually looked kind of, like, speedy and fast, where one guy was getting shot fire. One time it was actually fast, and then it was slow. I mean, like, make up your mind, fast or slow. I prefer fast, but at least make it not fast, then slow, fast, then slow again. But there was this one time when it was kind of fast, and this dude was like, this earth dude was like going up, and it came up right away. That was pretty awesome, I have to admit. But then they went back to like 20 earthbending guys. They were like chanting. I was like, oh, this is gonna be a great spot for like an earth wave or earthquake thing. And then like they were like, yeah. And then one boulder came. I was just, and then the soldiers like, I was like, it was just like a flash mob, people. Seriously. And yeah. And, what else is there, I guess? There was some time spent, like, wasting what could have been added into, like, the Kyoshi Warriors or something. That would have been cool. And it was just like, one time it was just Zuko looking at a family picture. I thought it was like, oh, this is going to be cool, we're going to get a flashback or something. But then he just like fought on the ship, sure. Like it was, might have been cool how he like grabbed him and like body slammed him, but like, it was like that for 50 seconds, he was just fighting, when it could have shown him fighting a little, like for 5 seconds, just so he was training or something, and then moved on to something more important, to story development or character development. And, one other time, when Aang guitars at the Northern Water Tribe toward the end of the movie, before the Fire Nation attacks, they're just in the field, just doing Tai Chi. Sure, I like the motions, and it looked kind of cool, but then it was just like that for, like, I think I counted 48 seconds or something like that. They were just like this. No water was moving at all. And then, like, early in the movie, at least they could have made water appear or something. Move. They were just like, nothing was happening. They were just in an open field. And then, like, one other time, like, well, in the series, Aang had, like, had no trouble mastering waterbending. In the movie, you couldn't get it, which that isn't that big of a deal. Of course, I liked it. It was stuck to the original source, but it's not that big of a deal compared to other gripes about this movie. Katara was standing beside a river, like she was gonna do some cool waterbending. She was just doing this, and no water was moving at all out of the stream or anything. She was like right there, like, oh, I need water for this, but then nothing was happening. Come on. Shamalama ding dong. Sorry, but anyway, the final battle. Sure, some of it was pretty cool. How they like blew out part of the wall with fire and it just melted, and like the creatures they rode on, they were like launching fire at the city. That part was cool. I was like, whoa, that's pretty cool. And then you see, like, during the fight, like, you see Fire Nation soldiers fighting no one, just standing there like, when someone could have killed them already or something. And then, like, at the end of the movie, like how in the series, Aang came up in like a freaking awesome water monster and like just shot like 4 Fire Nation ships into the distance, like, psh! But then, like, in the movie, he just like raises a wave, doesn't even crash it on him. He's just like, sure, that's not like a big a deal, but I would have liked an awesome Avatar state action scene. Come on. And maybe the positives, again, the look of the bending, and I just like that they attempted to make it, like, my favorite show into a movie, but honestly, I think any fan could have done a better job. I probably could have done a better job, because I would have at least had half of the stuff that was originally in the series, and I would have called him Aang, as not Ong, and Sokka instead of Sokka, and so forth. And they had the fan base, they had the commitment to go see it, but they could have made a lot of money, but they didn't. Sorry. You chose to make a bad movie. You could have made it awesome. It probably would have broken records, honestly, because of the huge success of the fan base, and they would have had sequels. If they would have had sequels, how would they continue with, like, the Kyoshi Warriors weren't introduced, and Suki comes in, and then, like, all of that, and sure, Azula looks pretty cool, and she says, yes, my father, at the end. Yes, it looks pretty cool, but I don't think they'll have a sequel now, but if they do, I don't know, I'll probably go see it. But The Last Airbender, I did kind of enjoy, like, the story, a part of the story of it, so I'll give it, like, a 3 out of 10, because I enjoyed the story, because a lot of it's, like, based on my favorite TV show, so of course I like the story and aspect of it, but with the special effects, 3, 3.5, maybe 4, if necessary, out of 10. Major letdown. And 2 more positives. The Blue Spirit scene. Yes, that was pretty cool, how he was, like, winning his swords and everything. That scene was actually pretty awesome. If only the movie would have been that awesome. And then, like, I don't know, what was it? Oh, yeah, the intro to the movie. Like, the part that I thought was going to be like, oh my gosh, this is going to be my favorite movie ever, because it actually looked cool at the beginning, how it's intro with the show, like, water, earth, fire, air, and it showed them, like, in the show, and it has a narration of Katara, but then it just goes downhill from there. Except for a few scenes that were kind of cool. No. Shamalama ding dong, sorry, but you made The Last Airbender. You crushed the dreams of me, an Avatar fan, and many other Avatar fans out there. I wish you would have made a 3-hour movie and fit in everything, honestly. And had to wait like another year or so. Just made it better. It's kind of embarrassing to be an Avatar fan when looking at this, but remain loyal to the original series. Like maybe 3 to 4 stars. And last Airbender, not that good. See ya.